flip it on you, Marco. Is fear motivating you, brother? Where you at on your fear spectrum of motives?
Yeah, it's motivating me a lot.
You're a scared dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I had to think about it. I was like, am I? Yes, of course I am.
That's what I thought you said. Yeah,
Hey, welcome to the
Hey, I forgot to do the intro, hey, so let's give me a second. We're just gonna do the intro now.
Can this be the intro? You saying I forgot to do the intro? Give me a second, let's do the intro. Hey, welcome to the middle of podcast.
I'm your host.
Welcome to Middle of Podcast, guys.
Who's in the middle?
Officially, because these
remember
guys
that.
are messing around.
The real middle.
The real middle.
That's
Who
right.
is in the middle? And that
We're
tells
taking
you
turns.
Everything you need to know.
Me and Zash.
Yeah.
Thank you for
I don't even
logging
know what you're
on.
thanking them for.
Thank you for logging on to the podcast. If you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for listening. If you're watching YouTube, thank you so much for watching for past episodes. I'm going to put a couple things up there. And yeah, I hope you just enjoy the episode. If you want to stay up to date with everything on Instagram, Team of the Low Podcast is where you check it out.
On Spotify and those other things. Go to YouTube. It's
It's
better.
better.
You're not gonna get access to things anymore if you don't have your card. Won't let you pay. Won't let you enter this joint. No card, no entry.
That's the problem. You see, I like Mark of the Beast, I saw some people talking about it in one of these here WhatsApp groups.
We started recording. Oh, so this is all content. Okay.
But
Because in my other job, there's conversations I've had with many people who genuinely are inquiring. Like, yo,
Should
Pastor, what is this? Should I? Is it okay? It's like, yo, fam, just get back. You've been getting vaccinated since you were a baby. Just do it.
I find it interesting people like the vaccination is the mark of the beast. Because literally, from the point you're born, you're getting vaccinated.
So I sent links also, but there's another podcast that then describes kind of the thinking that's not necessarily the mark of the beast, but it's us being prepared.
So that
for
when
the
it
type
comes,
of
like,
thinking.
oh, well.
For us to be like used to this limited access unless you have this thing and so we're getting primed, we're getting ready.
I think it's all marketing. Like, I think I was reading this thing about how this sort of catastrophe disaster thinking has been permeating throughout Christianity like since the 80s. And it has been, one, it fuels the fear that people need to be with God and all of that sort of stuff. So it encourages people to keep coming to church. But then you can make millions off of things like the Rapture, off of things like Left Behind series, off of things like, be prepared for this, be prepared for that, be prepared for that. Because it's at any given point, I'm sure that at some point, even if you're on the extreme fringes of Christianity, or if you're like, in a more mainstream thing, there was one point where the fear of, it's just now what's happening. Like,
It's been the end of the world for the last like 2,000 years.
yeah.
No, jokes aside,
We were about to
the
end.
Bible says, the time is near. We don't know
Even
how
when
it is.
Jesus joined, they were like, now it's over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's here. Warrior King. Let's
But
go.
yeah. But catastrophe is good for business, not just in Christianity, but you look at just look at COVID.
Even like post 9/11.
Yeah.
Post 9/11, people stock up, people do that's good for business to give
Interesting how
people.
people
the
made
idea.
money from that, eh?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people made money from the posts or effects post 9/11.
But it's not just like they were following a script. Well, I won't say they were following a script. That sounds way more. That sounds way more
Podcast
conspiracy
just
theory.
turned.
I mean, they weren't the first people to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's been going on from forever ago.
Yeah.
Like people use fear to. It's easier for me to convince you to buy something out of fear than it is that it's good for you.
So then just like genuinely saying, hey, this thing is dope. Like, can do 1, 2, 3. You're like, hey, if you don't get this,
Yeah.
you're going to die.
Yeah. It's like white parents get like all they get like really serious about their health,
Yeah.
like later on in life.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they
'cause
had
they're
the
gonna die.
opportunity. Yeah, now it's just like, oh shoot.
It's 1:45.
Extra time in second half.
Yeah.
You studied marketing, didn't you? Yeah, so maybe isn't it a type of marketing to feed certain information to get people to a certain place for them to be able to be ready or palatable for the product that you're trying to sling to them?
I think I think it has to do with that's even giving it more credit, I feel. I think there definitely is something that could be like that, but I think at the end of the day you're always going to appeal more to emotions than you are to logic.
That's true.
So there's like an idea in marketing where it's you want to tell people about the benefits, not the features.
Okay.
No one cares about the fact that your phone has 5G, but everyone cares about the fact that you can download a movie in 10 minutes.
Quick. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's something. Basically, you're always appealing to emotion, and that's why you'll find like, haven't you seen like emotion like commercials that made you like, your heart got tugged a little bit, and you're like, oh, that was sad. Like
I
the
need to buy
puppy.
some Pampers.
Yeah.
She's a baby. I need Pampers.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? It's like when you were like between like 5 and 10, and you're watching those Verimark ads, and they're selling brooms, and you were like 8, and you're like, I need a broom. Like I need that broom.
No, but Verimark was something else though.
Those guys are bad.
Like it was actually like it was entertaining. Like you could sit and watch on cell.
Have you ever had this problem with your watch? I can't get it off. If only you had a Velcro strap.
It was hilarious.
To get yourself a strap, dial 99914.
Quantities are limited, so buy now. But that's what I'm saying.
Call
like,
in the
even-
next hour, and you get a 50%
That's
discount.
what I'm saying. What
The
is
end
that?
near,
That's
the end is
fear.
near.
No, it's true.
Fear
You're
of
gonna-
missing
you're gonna
If
miss
I don't
out.
do it in the hour, it's late. I have to pay full price.
So do you think we were taught that, or it's something that's inherent within us? Do you think there's a machine that's working to make us scared and have the fear of missing out, and whether it's social media, whether it's through the movies we watch, the things that we are engaging and encountering, is it something that's pushing us towards this
I think
type of thinking?
I think because we don't deserve our spot on the totem pole. No. Seriously.
Constantly, someone chasing us is
Yeah.
And we're just there like, hey.
it's a,
Because
it's a
before-
race.
As soon as we got past like, hey, no, there's lions, like, like now it's just like, but at the end of the day, what served us to get us to where we were was fear of that.
Yeah.
Fear of the lions made us build houses so they couldn't get in.
Yeah.
Like, or that rain couldn't do this, or like fear is like this huge motivator. I think it's biological.
And you're talking about COVID. Someone said, because people in Zim were a bit reluctant to get vaccinated. Then they saw people pegging, right, like dying. Like, hey,
Literally.
let's go get vaccinated. And like
Now it's
literally, Zim
wild.
went from like, I think it was like 500,000 vaccinated people to about 1.6 in the space of about 5 weeks, because people were like, oh, people are dying,
Yeah.
right? 1.1 million of us are gonna go get vaccinated because we don't wanna die. And even like the clinic near our house has got like people waking up at 4 a.m. to go queue for a vaccine.
So would you put it past the machine to have formulated those numbers in order to encourage people to then go and get vaccinated?
Jack, don't rotate, guys. This is happening. This is happening.
You're lucky you get to edit this afterwards, huh?
No, but I actually think that's a thing though. Like where people are like, oh, fear works, right? So for example, take your late night shows and a lot of your news people, especially like CNN and the like. A lot of their ratings went up by making people afraid of. You can be afraid of Donald Trump for many reasons. You know what I mean? But they played on
It's not right?
nightmares.
Like,
But they played on the fact that people were like, oh, what's he gonna do? And the fear of what he could do. Yet, if you think about it realistically, he's been the only president since Nixon, I think, to have not started a war. So if anything, from a security point of view, you can play on what he could do, but what he actually didn't actually increase wars, if that makes sense, at least externally among other countries.
I was about to
So,
say.
yeah, look, in America, that's a different situation. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much created a lot of wars, bro.
But I mean externally. Then you think about even COVID, because straight after Trump went, there was this sort of lull and people not really like engaging as much because most of what you saw was
That's just Trump. It's boring.
That really is. The problem.
Sleepy Joe. But after that, there was COVID. Oh, you're gonna die! It's the end of the world. And it was COVID. Then the vaccines came and just kind of like chilled. And now they're like, they try. There's nothing that's making them as fearful, and their ratings have just gone straight down again. So it could sort of play. I don't know.
No, but fear has been a thing for a long time. Like even think about our structure of society.
Yeah.
How many police officers are there versus the population of a nation? So if only decided that.
Even beyond that,
the police.
The thing that kills me is like, have you seen the numbers for like how many nuclear bombs there are in the world?
How many nuclear bombs?
There's literally, I believe it's over 10,000.
Okay.
Jeez.
We need 50 to like
To light up the whole place.
to say that it's a wrap for anything that isn't like a cockroach or a one-celled organism. Like we just need 50 of them. Why do we need 10,000 of them? Because maybe those guys have. No,
Because I've got 5, but he might have 10.
And it's
get
like
to 11.
And literally like we dropped 2 of those items and we're like, hey, this is a span. We all agreed. This is not what.
Still kept building.
But it's still like, and when it's so let's all give them up. Everyone's like in the conference, like
It's like bluff. Like okay. So
you do
you
the
give up
item.
5. I'll do 5
Yeah,
this
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Next time we'll do 6.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
you're gonna give your items up. All right, give them up. Give them up.
I knew you were lying.
Yeah.
I knew you were lying.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But isn't that all, like, to speak to like your society thing as well? Isn't that like what? Like I'm thinking about like things like wars and all of that sort of stuff as well. Like where you'll find like certain countries will now start telling the people you're fighting against, they're like this, and if we lose, you're gonna lose something. And it's just like, what do you mean? Like,
I think about like, American movies and the villains in American movies. Like depending on whatever time period it is, it's a Russian villain, it's a Chinese villain.
And it also, and you know what's interesting about that is it also shows who they've got beef with at the given time. So like whenever there was like the Cold War, Russia. Now things have chilled. A lot of like the villains are Asian. You're like, and specifically Chinese, like, but guys.
right, I hadn't
But
noticed the
guys,
Asian shift.
Yeah, and even during that whole time of, one of our former presidents, like when Mugabe was president, they had this movie. I'm forgetting its name. If I remember, I'll put a link to.
Over here?
No.
Over here.
No.
The Interpreter.
I think that's the one.
With the Nicole Kidman, and there was
Yeah. That was essentially based on
30
him. If you
seconds
look at
champ,
it.
fam. 30 seconds champ.
I'll tell you why later.
You'll be at home studying that.
Oh no. You guys got real natural training. Maybe someday she'll come on the podcast. Yeah, see. He's married to a woman that doesn't speak actual English.
His whole life is 30 seconds.
It's so good, the whole life, Adam. The whole Adam.
What are you trying to
Nothing-
say?
nothing- She's worse than Marco. Nothing is straightforward. Like, fam, just use your words.
Life is all about
But anyway.
guessing, guys.
Interpreter.
But yeah, if you watch that, it's because someone said to me that they're sort of priming you in case the event actually happens. It's not, you sort of being desensitized in a way. Because if it was actually to happen, that let's say they were to like kill the guy, I mean, he's already gone. So there's no one dying. But if they were to, you'd have been like, oh no. But you know, when they showed that movie, there were lots of people who had died and lots of things that had happened. So he only became somewhat of a good guy because he was saved. But the things that they were accusing him of were bad. You get, and you could sort of tell if you watch it. You can sort of tell if you know who they're talking about. That that's the guy. Yeah.
There's an episode of House as well.
Yeah.
It was hectic. And it was James Earl Jones. And then
African leader.
Yeah. And then
The accent and everything.
if you never
It's
watched
always
House,
an
do you know what? I'll actually say House is a good enough show that I won't spoil it because I can go back like once every 2 years and watch.
House is probably the best show
Yeah.
I think I've ever watched, to be honest.
Yeah. It's
Shout out to
it's
you, Lord.
pretty good.
What's up, Brev?
I really thought he was American, bro.
Me too.
I really thought he was American. Like,
You don't watch House?
it's okay.
Explains a lot. Now I understand.
Because like deep in your heart, muneka weakness. So,
With an E, not even with an A. You're whack.
Gays,
I
guy.
knew it.
Why? Why?
You can put that here. The
Yeah.
correct spelling.
Cow wickness.
Put an accent even on the E.
It's like someone sent me a meme yesterday, and it had the word plan, but the rest of the writing was in Shona. So I didn't read plan. I read plan. So like it was like.
Oh, so it's in the rest of the phrase was
The rest of the phrase is in
and the
Shona,
word
but the
was
plan
in
was
English.
yeah. But in my head I was like, because I'm reading with the accent. Yes, I got plan. Yeah.
That's great.
I was like, yeah, like no, but even talking about that, you then have what's it called? What were they called again with Dr. Dre, Eazy-E?
NWA.
Yeah, and
30 seconds. What up?
that was less than
Yeah,
10.
like-
That was less than 10.
Turn over the car.
Yeah.
Blue side. Flip it. But even if you like watched and like some of those like documentaries relating to that time,
Yeah.
there was a lot of if like black people in LA move into neighborhood, it's peak because can you not see what's going on here?
Yeah.
You must. And I think I was watching something yesterday where they were talking about how one of the guys from, is it Time Warner or something like that, and they had signed on like rap artists early on in the 90s because they'd seen that this is
This
the
is where
next
it's
part,
going.
Yes.
like this is it, and record labels were upset because they're like, no, can you not hear their lyrics?
Those gangsters.
Read out their lyrics. Read out
Yeah.
their lyrics.
They will rape our
Yeah.
wives.
That's.
Why are you guys laughing?
You're falling, but that's literally
dark.
But
that's
that was what they were
that's
saying,
literally
though.
what it was. That's
And they were
literally
playing
what
on
it
the
was.
fear of things that actually happened, but it was a probability and not an it will happen. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess that's how we're wired as human beings.
Wait, what do you mean?
To be fearful.
To be fair.
Your conclusive statement there. I was like, no, I'm sure I agree with that. Wait.
No. To be fair.
What are you saying?
To be fearful.
I think it comes. I don't know. I feel like we're hijacking your item, but I feel like it goes. I feel like it.
This already is what it is.
We told him last time. He's a guest here in the middle. Next
just-
time he must sit in the middle. If he wants it to be his show.
Maybe that's what panned. And like you
Whoever
gave up
sits
your
in the
seat,
middle,
you gave up your
Look,
influence.
I
your
already
power.
knew what was happening. I was
No.
like, I'm just a spectator here. I'm watching the
Yeah.
Gwi and Zash
What do you
show.
No,
expect from-
this seat is Samson's here,
That's what we're
basically.
saying. But if everyone's wear bucket hats inside. Hey, what is this?
Where am I supposed to get a haircut?
What is this?
Where am I supposed to get a haircut?
Put
Oh,
a work
man.
here again.
Weakness
In fact, it must
Katyani,
actually
okay?
be here. That's where it must be.
Guys, you're mad. You guys are actually mad.
Sadaro Eki. No, but like I was tuning. Like I think it stems also down to like a control thing.
Yeah.
So like I was, if you have like if once you have all this stuff in place, then now you're in a place where you're in control and you're what's it called? I've got my house, so I don't need to worry about the weather and all these other things. I've got my car, so I don't need to worry about transport. I've got this. I don't like. So there's all this stuff that you're doing to gain stability, and then when something comes up that is seemingly threatening to that stability, cue your Donald Trump or your Obama. If each of them were the Antichrist in equal degrees, depending on
Depending on which side of the
church you went
spectrum
to.
you were.
Yeah. But like that seems to threaten what that is, and then it's just like, no, that's now my car, my guns, my like.
This gun story, eh? Hey, yeah. Hey.
They're serious about their guns.
They love their guns.
Serious about
No,
their
they love their guns. It's a bit of a lot.
But then you hear the stories where it's like, well, you know, if I'm in my house and a man comes into my house, what are you gonna do? You need to have your gun and you show them what's what. They come to my house, I pull out the shotgun. They know, and it's just like, oh, what's
You
war
do that a
zone?
little bit too well, bro.
I lived in the South,
He's been
fam.
practicing a little too much.
I know,
You know what I mean?
I know the mindset, huh? I know the mindset. No, but it's like,
Before.
I was
but
about to be
the way,
worried.
but you hear the way that they talk about it. It's like, fam, do you live in GTA 5 all the time? Like, is that what
You're
you're
constantly.
Yeah, at any given point, it's like
You're ready to.
And you know they just wish. All of these owns who go with a gun on their hip. What is the
ready.
definition of I
I'm a-
wish a nigga would? I wish a nigga would. I wish a nigga would.
How many bleeps are we allowed this just so we're clear.
Yeah, I tried actually. I don't think I did bad. I don't think I did bad this time.
No, you done
The
okay.
N-word might not make it like on YouTube stream, but like, yeah, not too bad. You did it alright.
Yeah, you probably just
It took you like 20 minutes.
But you know, it's interesting you say that. I've got a friend who's in
Segway.
No, I just wanted to say, we're all niggas here.
It's like I've got a few more minutes on editing.
Melanin.
couple more minutes on editing.
Sorry.
No, like
Brown skin. Sorry. Go.
skin just like bills. Anyway,
Focus.
I've got a friend in Alabama,
Just
right?
dropped a new video.
And I was literally talking to him 2 days.
In Alabama.
Yeah, and about 2 days ago.
Is he a nigga?
Yeah, he is.
Now that we've released this word.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more times. You're giving me lots of work. Okay.
The weirdest thing is I feel like I don't use that word.
But you had to
Yeah.
Southern
Yeah.
America. Ah, okay. Let's
Yeah.
Without it back. Alabama. Spoke to your friend here the other day.
Yeah, and he was like, dude, like, he called. He was like, bro, I just want to tell you that I love you, bro. And I was like,
Oh, he's that kind of nigga.
I just want to say, man, I was here for the story. Already here. I was like, oh, that's such a sweet thing, you know. And so, Pastor Joe Gay on my left.
Dial it back. He called you today to tell you that he loved you. Yeah.
so yeah, he called me to tell me that he loved me because he was watching a movie where the guy's best friend is about to die. I mean, the guy is telling his best friend that he loves him just before he dies. And you know, my friend is really he's a sweet kind of guy. He's like, bro, I was watching this movie and the best friend was there and he was about to die, so he had to call his best friend, tell him that he loved him. Bro, I just sort of tell you that I love you, bro.
So he wasn't about to die. Let's just clarify.
No, my friend was not about.
Yeah.
My friend was not about to die.
just
But he was
inspired by
watching
this
a
about to
movie.
die
Yeah.
Screen goes black in memory of Weakness. Weakness's friend.
Then he gets friend.
Shamria Weakness.
So we awakening.
Why do I bring you guys on?
You don't. We bring you onto this here show.
I don't know what you're thinking.
Shout out to 100 subscribers. We made it. Thank you.
Shout out,
glad to
thank
have
you guys
y'all
so
with us,
much.
man.
Really
Appreciate
appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
But
the point of
anyway,
your
yeah.
story was?
The point I'm making is he was like talking about like how
Obviously, yeah.
how scary like
Yeah.
you know even being there can be sometimes. And he's like, bro, people walk around strapped, bro. You've gotta be careful. And I was like, yeah, no, I definitely hear you. He's like, no, dude, like, and I was like, lol, it sounds like what downtown Joe, but he goes, bro, it's worse. Like, cause you'll be walking and chilling, and then if you cause beef, or if someone just assumes you want beef,
They're like,
that's the
I'm
first
ready.
thing. He's like, people don't wait to punch, knives. He's like, and he was talking about like, I think in his first year, so like 2 dead bodies, and then one of his friends saw 3, and they're talking about, and I was like, in your first year. And for him, he's like, for me, I'm just making sure that I watch how I move and just gotta be friendly. But that's sort of like what fear also does is you're constantly in the state of what's gonna happen next. And it's
Is it useful though? Like I feel like we've spent the whole time like crapping on fear, but like, isn't it also? Someone once said that that's probably the reason for Southern hospitality, because you know that at any given point, someone could. So it's just like, yo, would you just rather be nice?
because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
So is there some? I'd say that
Healthy fear.
Yeah.
100%.
You think so?
There must be. But might not call it that.
We'll give it.
Because our brains don't want to
It'll be
admit
called
that.
inspiration.
But realistically, yeah, there's a lot of things we don't do because we're afraid, which are good for us.
Like,
We don't eat like 1,000 burgers every day, or we don't like.
you hungry,
Well
sir?
done, well done.
Yeah.
Keeping it PG there. We appreciate you, Zash.
Yeah,
Thanks for being in the middle.
there's I guess certain things like that, or like you could look at it. Probably our parents' fear of their families being destitute kept them going to work every day, even if they may not have liked the jobs that they were in.
Yeah.
Even the example you gave of eating better, working out as you get older, you're afraid of dying.
Yeah.
Death. Being capped.
That's another complex one, though. Like that whole fear of death. Should it be something that we're really afraid? I saw this one person was saying that so much of our experience as humans is trying to avoid the one thing that is inevitable. So we don't have
Thanos.
It's a good word.
Inevitable.
Yeah, but like how much time do you then, and also is that should that be a motivation? Like you could use that as like with the Christian thing as well, like where it's like, oh, are you a Christian because you want to be good to people, or are you a Christian because you don't want to go to hell? Like that sort of thing.
Like, do you actually believe in God, or it's just just in case? Yeah, it's a good.
Which I'll also say, I'll bring that controversy. If you are being a good person because you're afraid of hell, the net is good. So I'm okay with that.
Like it's
like the
impact
like
on society is good,
you hear like a politician who's like a real narcissist, and you know he's a real narcissist, but he's using his narcissism to feed homeless people.
So he'll do whatever it takes to make sure he keeps looking good.
Yeah.
So he'll help out other niggas.
So in other words, yeah.
So he looks good.
The net result is good. So I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay with you fake Christian.
Keep at it. Yeah. Might suck for you, but it's good for the rest of us.
When we all die, the result may be different.
Yeah.
But on Earth, thank you, bro.
Yeah. Because if he's right, it's like, oh, I did well. But if he's wrong, what's he gonna be like? Oh no, it wasn't. I wasted my life. He's dead.
And y'all thought I was the wild one.
Yeah, it's too late for him.
Ooh, I thought you were a wild one. So we don't sing, bro. Look at his disapproval.
Oh, wakey. I think we gotta change like the intros, your name on the item. Change your Instagram handle. I'm gonna hack the item. Change that.
You know, one of my friends' IG handles actually got hacked. You
Are
know,
they famous?
No, you know them.
So how did they get hacked?
Panache.
Are we editing this out again as well?
They don't know which Panache it is. They don't know which Panache it is.
But Panache knows who they are.
Panache know, you know who you are.
Putting out her business, their business here on the interweb.
But yeah, it was so wild that I woke up and the fact that you call the interweb, that's what's ending me. That's what's actually ending me.
Guys, we were born in the 80s. Come on.
Y'all
Yeah.
WTF?
Yeah.
Why the face?
Yeah. Just get used to it. You ever heard of this thing called they call it TikTok?
What?
TikTok.
Like it's not a clock?
It's not a clock, fam.
What do you mean?
It's a website that you can only access on your phone.
No.
Yeah. Only on your phone.
Computer? No.
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not that educated. I don't have my Ethernet connection at home isn't that good.
Doing? Trying to think of like a Captain Hook joke.
Oh my days!
But you see, then that would have really shown the age because none of them.
But the new Peter Pan coming out, so in a couple of
it's like
in a month or a
refresh.
year,
It's a
they'll
refresh.
know.
Yeah,
They'll know.
yeah,
They'll be back with us.
And so
We'll be
sorry,
relevant
just
again.
sort of going back to the sphere chat. Do you think that has
Getting
sort
the
of
hacking
driven?
story. Okay, that's fine. Back to fear. Fear's good.
No,
Fear's a
the
good
really
place.
weird thing about the hacking thing is I woke up and then my friend was like, "Do you
Shows
know
in your
this
DMs.
account?" No.
Hey,
It was another.
hey Marco, catfish.
Was not the person who was like, do you know this person? They followed me just now. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
So I click on the account because it had a different name altogether.
okay.
And I click and I see iTehon is selling an iPhone 6 Pro. Click link to purchase.
Also, they're like stolen the account, then changed all the chakutis, and we're now
Change
hitting
the
up people.
profile picture and image, but they didn't change the password, which I think is dumb. Like, why would you hack an account and not change the password? Because she just literally got back into the account and was like, get out, just change the password back.
That's tough.
Anyway, but
Fear.
yeah, fear. What do you guys Do you think sometimes fear sort of has shaped you in terms of what you do today? In the sense that, do you have things that today you're like, yeah, I'm fearful of this, so I do this. So you work out, but is there a part of you that's like, I don't want to be, unhealthy?
Obese.
Yeah. Or you're like, I go to work because like I got people to feed at home. Like if I don't, or is it more out of I've got a passion and I would like to feed them, and not so much if I don't go to work, they won't eat.
I'll let Zash go while I think, because like I feel like it would be a lie to say no, because I don't think it's ever the primary motivating factor. But I think I'd be lying if I didn't acknowledge that there's an element of it in everything.
It's like if I don't eat today, like if I don't go to work today,
I'm sure there's some fear that's pushing things along.
I think I might have times when I should have listened to fear but also like I think all creatives are a bit mad.
Knowing you,
like
knowing you,
yeah, no, but there was definitely a point where it was not sensible for me to keep doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then because I didn't listen to that fear and be like, I need to do this, then I ended up where I am now. But then that's
where you know, so sad.
I was garbage. But no, but I'm saying like I think basically all I'm trying to say is like, yeah, that I think in that case lack of fear was good for me. But then there are also other times where maybe I might have let situations go because I wasn't afraid. Like I was like, no, I'll get jobs later. I'll do this later. I'll do this later. Like I'm sure a lot of people got that during COVID where they were just like, I should have had these things more. I should have figured this stuff out more than I had at that point because I would have been in a better position now. Yeah. But I was also telling myself like, don't be too afraid. Don't move in a spirit of fear.
It's like one of those interview answers. What is your weakness? No one gives like, I just work too hard.
I'm too motivated, I'm a workaholic. That's my weakness.
Flip it on you, Marco. Is fear motivating you, brother? Where you at on your fear spectrum of motives?
Yeah, it's motivating me a lot.
You're a scared dude.
Yeah. I had to think about it. I was like, am I? Yes, of course I am. But yeah, I think there definitely are like moments of I think it comes in waves. Where, for example, let's say in the span of 2 months, like I'm good for a good part of it. Then like there's this weird sort of middle of the 2 months sort of point where it's like, when I started, I said I was going to do 1, 2, 3 things. And I've done, of like the 5, I've done 2 as well as I wanted to. And then the others, like, I'm getting there, but I'm not where I want to be now. And it's like, will I finish it by the time I get there? So, and it's sort of like
it's interesting. I feel like we've chatted about this off camera, but now it gives me an interesting question that I want to ask.
Yeah.
And I'll ask
what he's gonna say.
I'll ask you as well. But like,
oh no,
do you feel like you have a fear that stems from like feeling like I'm running out of time?
100%.
100%. And can I say? Can do you mind giving your age on camera?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, like I'm 22, turning 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am
23 in a month.
Yeah, I'm 35. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to give your age, but I also want to ask you that same question. Like,
12.
Did you? Okay, let me ask it this way. At his age, did you feel like you had he was running out of time? And do you? How much of that fear do you think you still have?
That's interesting. I'm 34 years old.
Yeah.
And no, at Marco's age, I never felt like I was running out of time.
Really?
Yeah.
I did.
When I was 20, what did you say? 21?
22, 23 essentially.
Yeah, when I was 23, I was like, I was in university.
Yeah.
Maybe what? I was in university. 19, 20, 21. Yeah, I was like my last year of university. I was like, I was starting my life. So
yeah.
I was more
optimistic.
I'm
And
looking for the future. Like, okay, I'm going for it. You also felt like you're running out of time
I did.
at 23.
Like I think
How do you feel now?
no, that's because that's the weird thing, right? Like I feel like now, objectively, I have less time. Everyone's dogs. But no.
Tell us how you really feel.
No, but now objectively, I have less time than I did back then. But I don't feel that pressure
you
anymore.
think you're more comfortable?
I think you grow and you mature. So
Yeah.
I think when you're younger, I genuinely think younger people experience time faster. Like time moves a lot faster for a younger person. Like in the lifespan of an average teenager, a lot can happen in a week. Like 7 days is a long time.
That's wild.
But for a 34-year-old, 7
Yeah.
days is nothing.
You know
Yeah.
why? It's because you're not.
It
going
was
to
January yesterday.
It's because you're not in school. When you, I was watching this thing where it was like you missed one day of school. Then they showed a video of the day that Drake went to go record God's Plan at school. It's like you missed one day. Drake comes, releases, gives people money, and you went home. It's like, where were you?
Yeah.
Maybe that might actually be the thing, because like I think, like genuinely, I think the younger you are, the faster time moves for you, because a lot then is happening. So like how even young children grow, so their growth, the growth that a baby does till they're like 2 is almost equivalent to what you go through when you are from 10 to 30. Like in terms of maturing and developing and growth, you won't slow down the level which you grow. So maybe that might even on a subconscious level be why you feel you're running out of time, because genuinely you are.